Christmas. Welcome to Christmas. Here at Allambie Heights, on the North Shore, New South Wales, Australia. We got the pizza oven going now. It's been an afternoon of fun and kids doing karaoke and whatnot. Happiness. But let me tell you, listeners, 2024 is the year of choices. We don't live in a world of excuses anymore. There are no excuses anymore. Science, life, experience, millenniums behind us have all shown us what works and what don't. We have put ourselves in positions that we need not to have. It could have all been better. It could have all been different. We chose not. For many of us, chose to stay on point. We chose to stay on point. We chose to battle it out for decades against the odds. We mixed with people that weren't doing that. We tried to help them. We tried to change them. We tried to show them. We tried to help, educate. We put ourselves with people that had every opportunity and saw the light and opportunity to come into the light and chose not to. They wrestled with hangers-on. They wrestled with people that were wanting to stay in the darkness. I've tried to bring people into the light. They've seen the light. They've wanted the light. They've come to the light, meaning a way of life that was better than the one that they were living. And they've had every opportunity to make great decisions for themselves that life's got a way of trying to hold people in the darkness, and darkness meaning not living up to the level that they can and should and are able to, where they've just held themselves in a holding pattern that wasn't going to benefit them or their children or those around them. And for decades they've remained in that place, in that spot. And they've chosen to continue on a path that they knew wasn't right for them. It wasn't helping them. It wasn't benefiting them. And they were able to change. They didn't want to change. They didn't want to make the choices. They didn't want to make the micro incremental changes, or they tried to and couldn't hold it and got pulled back. A lot of people get pulled back into situations that are of no benefit to them. And it's not just one thing. It can be several things. It can be many things. But 2024 is going to be a merciless year. You'll either be able to stay in the darkness that you are, or you'll have to come out into the light. And if you come out into the light, you will benefit. You'll be able to micro-incrementally improve. You know, I've seen people cut back from a packet of cigarettes today down to a half, down to a quarter, down to I ain't damn well doing this anymore. Same with dope. They start to get their mind back after they come through the trauma of it, after they come through the withdrawals of it. They start to get their life back, their mind back, and they start to come into the purpose that God planned for them. They start to kick the devil in the ass. The devil flees. If you resist the devil, he'll flee from you, the Bible says. He'll flee. But too many people don't even think the devil's there, so you can't resist something that you don't think's there. You'll just go along with it. You'll just continue in the darkness. You'll continue in the sadness, in the unhealthiness. And you'll convince yourself that it's all right, but it's not all right. It's just not all right. It's not all right to stay that way or be that way. You have to change. And if you're not willing to change, I can guarantee you your life will be quicker than it should be and not as happy as it could be. That's just how it works. And you've been warned. Many of you have been warned. You've been warned by friends, lovers, partners, people that you're close to, people that care and don't care. People that have tried to come alongside and help. The funny part about it is you help others, but you don't help yourself. And you've got to help yourself. There's no choice. You have to help yourself. It's time you made some choices for yourself and stop allowing these hangers-on, these bad influences to keep you going in the wrong direction. Because they will. They'll keep you moving away from where your conscience is telling you you need to be. You know very well where you need to be. And you're resisting it. Why resist what's good for you? Why? The light was there the whole time and you chose not to follow it. You chose not to align with it. You chose death instead of life. You had thoughts of death instead of thoughts of life. Those thoughts led you to the way that you are. Oh, but I've had this happen to me. Yep. Hang on a sec. We've all had horrible, terrible things happen to us. But it's the choices that we make despite that affect us, that tell us what's going to happen and what's not. That's the things that matter, those thoughts. They're the things that count. Do they want those in as well?
No, Rana said to leave.
Okay. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you self-introspecting enough to be able to cope with the choices that you need to make and the impacts that you need to make to better yourself. To make life easier for yourself. And once you make those choices and the impacts, positive and negative, of those choices come upon you, and you start to, within the pain, start to realize that the positives that are coming out of the hard choices are so worth it. Even though it's painful, even though it hurts, even though it's against your will and mindset and all the rest of it, those positive choices, even though they're going to make you feel pain and in pain, will be the best choices you could ever make for yourself. And you'll make those choices against the grain. You'll make those choices against things that you thought were important, because they're not. They're not important. They're just not important. They're things that don't matter. They're things that don't mean anything. The hard choices are always the ones, they're always the choices that bring the best results.
You want face mask?
Yes, please.
What would you like? How do you like it?
Just
Cheese? Margarita? Yeah. No worries. 1 minute.
The hard choices are always the ones that bring pain but bring the best results. And that's what 2024 is going to be about. You'll make the hard choices and go through the pain to come out the other side, like all the rest of us, to get the results. Or you'll take the easy route and stay where you are and live an isolated life.